This is not merely the story of a singer, it's the odyssey of a visionary who transformed rejection into revolution. Welcome to From Rejection to Revolution, the untold story of Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's story begins far from the glittering stages of global fame in the quiet streets of Reading, Pennsylvania. A small-town girl with a guitar in hand and a heart full of unspoken dreams, she navigated a world that seemed determined to tell her no. While other children were playing in backyards or dreaming of ordinary futures, Taylor was writing songs that reflected every pang of emotion she felt, capturing the intensity of her teenage life in lyrics that would one day resonate with millions. From a young age, she faced rejection. Record labels doubted her, critics questioned her style, and even peers sometimes failed to see the fire within her. Yet, Taylor's determination became her compass. Every closed door, every critical comment, and every setback shaped her resilience. She refused to be another forgotten voice, lost in the vastness of the music industry. Instead, she embraced each challenge as a lesson, a step closer to the moment she would finally seize the stage. Her journey is not only a tale of talent, but of relentless ambition and ingenuity. Taylor's ability to translate personal experiences into universal narratives allowed her to build an unbreakable connection with listeners around the world. From country ballads to pop anthems, her evolution as an artist mirrors her evolution as a human, constantly learning, adapting, and daring to push boundaries. As you watch this story unfold, take a moment to engage with the community we are building here. Subscribe to the channel for more untold journeys of your favorite icons. Like this video if you are inspired by stories of resilience, and comment below. Tell us where you're watching from, your country and city, so we can connect across the globe and celebrate these journeys together. Taylor Swift's rise is a testament to the power of perseverance, the courage to dream, and the art of turning rejection into revolution. Her story begins now, and you are about to witness it from the very first note to the worldwide impact she commands today. Born on December 13, 1989, in Reading, Pennsylvania, Taylor Allison Swift entered the world with an insatiable curiosity and a sensitivity far beyond her years. Her family's suburban home, quiet and modest, offered little indication of the monumental journey that awaited her. From the beginning, Taylor displayed a precocious fascination with storytelling, often retreating into journals filled with poems, melodies, and observations that hinted at the voice she would one day bring to millions. Her parents, Andrea and Scott Swift, nurtured her creativity while balancing the practical realities of everyday life. Taylor's mother, a former marketing executive, recognized the spark in her daughter and encouraged every expression of her artistic inclinations, from school performances to local talent contests. Yet life in Reading demanded resilience. The town was small, the opportunities limited, and the music industry felt like a distant, unattainable world for a girl with big dreams. By the age of 10, Taylor had discovered country music and its storytelling power, drawing inspiration from legends like Shania Twain and Faith Hill. She memorized their lyrics, dissected their phrasing, and studied the emotive weight behind every note. Music became both sanctuary and compass, guiding her through the trials of adolescence and providing a lens through which she interpreted the complexities of human emotion. School life presented its own challenges. Taylor's intense focus on music and writing sometimes set her apart from peers. While other children navigated typical social hierarchies, she immersed herself in melodies and narrative, often finding solace in her notebooks rather than playground games. It was during these solitary moments that her signature songwriting style began to take shape. Intimate, precise, and resonant with the authenticity that would later define her career. Family support remained a cornerstone of her early development. Scott Swift, a stockbroker with a quiet understanding of ambition, often drove Taylor to weekend performances across Pennsylvania, enduring hours on the road to ensure she could showcase her talents. These journeys exposed her to diverse audiences, small-town stages, and the nuanced art of performance, planting seeds of confidence that would later flourish under the national spotlight. By the age of 12, Taylor had taken her first steps into professional songwriting. She submitted demos to local studios and participated in writing workshops, absorbing the technical craft of composition while honing her natural storytelling instincts. Each rejection she encountered was met with renewed determination. Rather than discouraging her, it solidified an unspoken code. Persistence would define her path as much as talent. Her family's move to a more suburban environment, closer to the cultural hubs of Nashville, further opened doors. Taylor's early exposure to the city's music scene provided first-hand insight into the mechanics of the industry. The auditions, the networking, the merciless scrutiny. She observed both the glamour and the grit, understanding that every opportunity demanded preparation, resilience, and an unwavering belief in oneself. Even in these formative years, Taylor exhibited a keen sense of narrative beyond music. She read voraciously, drawing from classic literature and contemporary fiction alike, learning how to craft tension, character, and emotional arcs. These literary influences intertwined seamlessly with her lyrical instincts, resulting in songs that were both melodically compelling and narratively rich, foreshadowing the sophisticated storytelling that would define her discography. Yet childhood was not without vulnerability. Taylor experienced the universal trials of adolescence, friendship betrayals, insecurities, and the sting of exclusion. These experiences, rather than weakening her, became the emotional bedrock of her artistry. They taught her that authenticity, even in the face of judgment, could resonate more powerfully than conformity. Each personal hardship transformed into lyrical material, a process that would later earn her acclaim for writing songs that spoke directly to the hearts of millions. By the time Taylor reached her early teens, the trajectory of her life was clear. She was no longer just a small-town girl with a notebook. She was a burgeoning artist with the vision, discipline, and courage to pursue her dreams relentlessly. The foundation laid in Reading, the support of her family, the trials of adolescence, the immersion in music and storytelling became the scaffolding upon which she would construct a revolutionary career. Her journey from humble beginnings was only beginning, but the echoes of her future greatness were already unmistakable. As Taylor Swift entered her teenage years, the world she had imagined was still just out of reach. Nashville, the mecca of country music, beckoned with its neon lights and promises of stardom, yet every path seemed fraught with closed doors and whispered doubts. For a young girl armed only with a guitar and relentless ambition, each audition, each meeting, was a test of endurance. The city demanded more than talent. It demanded resilience, resourcefulness, and a thick skin that Taylor would cultivate with quiet determination. Her first encounters with the music industry were marked by polite rejections and unfulfilled promises. Executives would nod politely at her demos, smile at her earnest performances, and then say the words every aspiring artist dreads, "We'll keep your information on file." While others might have interpreted these moments as insurmountable setbacks, Taylor internalized each no as a challenge. She returned to her songwriting with renewed purpose, refining her lyrics, experimenting with melodies, and transforming heartbreak into creative fuel. Even as doors remained closed, Taylor refused to accept limits imposed by circumstance. Her family played an integral role in these formative struggles, offering both emotional support and logistical lifelines. Long drives to Nashville's writing sessions and auditions became rituals of preparation and reflection. These journeys were more than transportation. They were crucibles in which her resolve was forged, shaping not only her artistry, but her understanding of the sacrifices demanded by ambition. By age 14, Taylor was writing songs that resonated far beyond her bedroom. Local talent shows, small-town fairs, and regional contests became stages on which she honed her performance skills. The attention she garnered was modest, but it provided critical validation. Her voice had the power to move, to inspire, and to forge connections even in the earliest, most intimate audiences. Every note played and every verse sung carried the imprint of countless hours of solitary dedication. Despite these small victories, the path forward remained steep. The culture of Nashville, competitive and often dismissive of newcomers, tested Taylor's patience and self-belief. Many peers succumbed to discouragement, yet she navigated rejection with an unusual maturity, viewing each critique not as judgment but as insight. This mindset became her compass, guiding decisions about songwriting, collaboration, and the careful cultivation of her unique artistic identity. Her early songs reflected both longing and observation, blending personal experience with narrative artistry. Themes of love, disappointment, and ambition were filtered through the lens of a young girl seeking her voice. Taylor's ability to translate raw emotion into structured composition distinguished her from contemporaries. She was not merely performing music. She was telling stories that mirrored the emotional landscapes of her listeners. Even at this stage, Taylor demonstrated an instinct for strategy. She researched the industry, identifying trends and gaps, and understood that breaking through required both originality and calculated positioning. Early demos were carefully crafted to showcase her strengths: storytelling, emotional clarity, and melodic sophistication, while maintaining the authenticity that would become her hallmark. Every effort was deliberate, each note and lyric considered as part of a larger vision. Friendships and social experiences continued to shape her artistry. Taylor observed human behavior with acute sensitivity, noting betrayal, joy, and the intricacies of connection. These insights were not idle observations. They became foundational material for songs that would later define her career. Even rejection and isolation were transformed into narrative tools, demonstrating her remarkable capacity to turn life's challenges into art. By the age of 15, Taylor Swift had begun to cultivate relationships with Nashville's songwriting community, attending workshops and networking events with a maturity beyond her years. These early connections exposed her to the mechanics of co-writing, publishing, and performance, further refining both her skill set and her understanding of the industry. Every encounter, every collaboration, contributed to the gradual construction of an artist poised to transcend the limitations of youth and geography. In retrospect, these years of struggle and persistence were more than preparation. They were the crucible in which Taylor Swift's identity as an artist was forged. Each rejection, each long drive, each moment of doubt became a stepping stone toward the revolution she would lead in music. The small-town girl with a notebook and a dream was evolving into a visionary, one who would not only rise but redefine the rules of fame and artistry. Her journey from struggle to early triumph had only just begun, yet the foundation of greatness was already unmistakably in place. Everything changed the moment Taylor Swift walked into Nashville with a determination that seemed to radiate from every note she played. The small-town girl, once told she wouldn't succeed, was now armed with an arsenal of original songs, a fierce work ethic, and a presence that demanded attention. She was no longer auditioning for validation, she was asserting her vision, and the industry began to take notice. It was during a pivotal showcase at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe that Taylor first captured the attention of Scott Borchetta, a young executive at Big Machine Records. Her performance was raw, intimate, and profoundly authentic, a combination that set her apart from every aspiring artist vying for a break. Every chord struck and every lyric sung told a story of resilience, heartbreak, and unyielding ambition. Volchetta saw not only talent but an extraordinary storyteller whose voice could transcend generations. Signing with Big Machine marked a turning point that would redefine Taylor's trajectory. No longer was she navigating the margins. She now had the resources, mentorship, and platform to bring her vision to life. Yet with opportunity came pressure, a delicate balance between creative integrity and commercial expectations. Taylor approached the challenge with meticulous care, insisting that her songs remain truthful reflections of her experiences, even as the machinery of the industry demanded marketable hits. Her debut single, Tim McGraw, became more than a song. It was a declaration of artistic identity. Listeners resonated with its vulnerability and authenticity, responding not merely to the melody, but to the narrative woven through each verse. For Taylor, this was validation of everything she had endured, every rejection, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, and proof that her voice could not only be heard, but embraced. The release of her self-titled debut album amplified her presence, showcasing a young artist unafraid to explore universal emotions through a personal lens. Critics praised her ability to blend country sensibilities with storytelling sophistication, while audiences connected with the relatability of her lyrics. Taylor was no longer just a prodigy. She was becoming a cultural phenomenon, a figure whose work would influence both music and the hearts of her fans. Touring became an essential element of her transformation. Performing in intimate venues and gradually larger arenas, Taylor honed her stagecraft, learning how to engage audiences with a combination of vulnerability and command. Each performance was a lesson in resilience and showmanship, reinforcing her ability to connect with fans on a deeply personal level while navigating the demands of an increasingly public life. Even as success began to manifest, Taylor faced the complexities of adolescence under scrutiny. Media attention intensified, and every personal detail became fodder for public consumption. Yet rather than retreating, she harnessed these experiences to inform her songwriting, transforming scrutiny into narrative, gossip into melody, and pressure into artistry. This alchemy of life into art became her signature, a skill few in the industry possessed with such precision. Collaborations with established songwriters and producers further refined her sound, allowing Taylor to blend traditional country roots with pop sensibilities. These partnerships were strategic yet symbiotic, giving her access to expertise while preserving her voice as the central narrative force. Every track was a careful construction, balancing commercial appeal with the raw emotionality that defined her as an artist. The industry began to respond. Chart positions, radio plays, and award nominations validated her perseverance. Yet for Taylor, these markers were secondary to the deeper impact. The knowledge that her songs were resonating with real people, providing solace, empowerment, and recognition of shared human experiences. It was this connection that solidified her place not only as a rising star, but as a storyteller capable of shaping culture. By the end of this turning point, Taylor Swift had transformed from a determined young girl into a formidable artist, poised to lead a revolution in music. The struggles of her early years, the persistence through rejection, and the careful cultivation of her craft had converged into a breakthrough that would propel her into international recognition. The girl from Pennsylvania had finally begun to step into her destiny, and the world was listening. The release of Taylor Swift's sophomore album, Fearless, marked the moment her talent exploded onto the global stage. Gone were the days of small-town performances and cautious audiences. Taylor now commanded arenas, award shows, and international attention. Every song, meticulously crafted, resonated far beyond the boundaries of country music, reaching fans who identified with her honesty, her heartbreaks, and her dreams. The world was beginning to recognize what Nashville insiders had long known. Taylor Swift was a force of nature. Fearless wasn't just an album, it was a declaration of Taylor's artistic evolution. Tracks like Love Story and You Belong With Me transcended genre, blending narrative storytelling with catchy, anthemic melodies. Her lyrics painted vivid portraits of love, longing, and youthful vulnerability, inviting listeners into her world. The album's success was not simply commercial, it was cultural, shaping the way a generation engaged with music and storytelling. As her fame skyrocketed, Taylor navigated the complexities of life under an increasingly intense spotlight. Interviews, magazine covers, and televised performances became daily realities, demanding poise and resilience beyond her years. Yet even amidst the frenzy, she maintained a remarkable authenticity, never allowing public perception to overshadow the personal truths that fueled her songwriting. Her identity as both artist and narrator remained intact, a rarity in a world eager to manufacture celebrity. Touring became both a test and a triumph. Stadiums filled with tens of thousands of fans became stages where Taylor's meticulous preparation met raw emotion. She learned to project vulnerability and strength simultaneously, creating performances that were intimate despite their scale. Each concert was a living testament to her connection with audiences, an unspoken conversation that transcended language, culture, and geography. The industry took note. Awards, critical acclaim, and chart dominance validated her unique approach to music. Yet Taylor's focus remained on storytelling rather than accolades. She understood that longevity in art was built not on fleeting recognition, but on crafting work that endured, that spoke to the human experience with sincerity and precision. Her songwriting became a blueprint for aspiring artists who sought to balance personal expression with widespread appeal. Collaborations, both musical and business-related, further cemented her rise. She carefully curated teams that complemented her vision, from producers to marketing strategists, ensuring that every release reinforced her narrative. Strategic choices in genre experimentation allowed her to expand her audience without sacrificing the core elements that defined her artistry. Lyrical depth, melodic clarity, and emotional authenticity. With global recognition came inevitable challenges. Media scrutiny intensified, personal relationships were dissected publicly, and critics scrutinized every artistic decision. Taylor faced these pressures with a combination of intelligence, patience, and calculated transparency. She transformed obstacles into material, pain into poetry, and public criticism into strategic messaging. Every headline, every rumor, became a brushstroke in the larger portrait of her ascent. By mid-decade, Taylor Swift had become a cultural icon. Her influence extended beyond music, shaping fashion, philanthropy, and the ways in which artists engaged with their audiences. She leveraged her platform to champion causes she believed in, from education to disaster relief, illustrating that fame carried responsibility as well as opportunity. Her rise was not merely a story of personal achievement, it was a blueprint for impact on a global scale. Fans, now known as Swifties, formed an unprecedented community around her music, connecting through shared experiences and emotions reflected in her songs. Taylor's ability to humanize fame, to translate personal narratives into universal truths, transformed listeners into participants, creating a movement that transcended traditional fandom. The revolution she began in a small Pennsylvania bedroom had now ignited worldwide. By the time Fearless and subsequent releases solidified her position, Taylor Swift had transcended the label of pop or country artist. She'd become a symbol of resilience, vision, and artistry. Her rise to fame was not accidental, but meticulously built, fueled by talent, strategy, and an unwavering commitment to her craft. From the girl who once strummed a guitar in silence, she had emerged as a global icon, a revolution in motion, reshaping music and the narratives of success itself. Today, Taylor Swift stands not only as a musical icon, but as a cultural force whose influence spans continents. Her journey from a small-town girl in Pennsylvania to one of the most recognized names in the world serves as a testament to perseverance, ingenuity, and authenticity. Every note she sings, every lyric she writes, carries the weight of decades of experience, struggle, and triumph. Her recent albums reflect both artistic evolution and personal introspection. Taylor has embraced new genres, from pop to indie folk, yet her signature storytelling remains intact. Each release is a carefully crafted narrative, revealing facets of her life previously unseen, while maintaining the universal resonance that connects her with millions of listeners. This ability to evolve without losing authenticity has solidified her reputation as a masterful songwriter. Beyond music, Taylor Swift's influence permeates the realms of business and social impact. She has challenged industry norms, redefined artist rights, and strategically leveraged her platform to influence streaming policies and ownership of creative content. Her advocacy is precise and purposeful, reflecting a deep understanding of both her craft and the structures that govern the music industry. Public perception of Taylor has also transformed over the years. The media that once dissected her personal life now observes a woman who commands respect not only for her talent, but for her intellect and strategic acumen. Taylor's careful curation of her public image demonstrates a nuanced grasp of storytelling beyond music. Each public appearance, interview, and statement, a deliberate chapter in her ongoing narrative. Philanthropy has become a defining aspect of her legacy. From disaster relief initiatives to educational programs and support for marginalized communities, Taylor leverages her wealth and visibility to impact lives positively. These actions, though sometimes overshadowed by her musical achievements, illustrate the depth of her commitment to creating meaningful change beyond the stage and studio. Her connection with fans remains a cornerstone of her influence. Taylor Swift has cultivated a community that thrives on mutual recognition and shared experience. Through social media, personal gestures, and intimate performances, she maintains a dialogue with her audience that transcends the traditional artist-fan dynamic, fostering loyalty and emotional investment that few artists achieve. Creatively, Taylor continues to push boundaries. Collaborations with producers, experimentation with instrumentation, and thematic cohesion in her albums demonstrate a relentless drive to innovate. Her work reflects both maturity and boldness, appealing to longtime fans while attracting new generations of listeners. Each project becomes an exploration of identity, artistry, and the human experience. The accolades she has accumulated, Grammy Awards, Billboard recognitions, and countless other honors, are markers of achievement, but they only tell part of the story. Taylor's true legacy is measured by her impact on culture, the inspiration she provides to aspiring artists, and the authenticity with which she communicates universal experiences through personal narratives. Taylor Swift's journey illustrates the evolution of an artist who refuses to be defined by rejection or expectation. Her story, once a series of obstacles and small victories, has transformed into a blueprint for resilience, creativity, and empowerment. From teenage songwriter to global phenomenon, she has become a living testament to the power of vision, dedication, and strategic artistry. As she continues to create, perform, and influence, Taylor Swift's legacy is both ongoing and indelible. She is a storyteller, innovator, and cultural icon whose narrative continues to evolve, inspiring millions around the globe. From the quiet Pennsylvania bedroom where it all began to stages across the world, her life embodies the revolution she has always been destined to lead, one of music, meaning, and monumental impact. Taylor Swift's journey from a small-town girl with a notebook to a global icon is a testament to the power of resilience, vision, and unwavering dedication. Every challenge she faced, every door that closed, and every doubt cast upon her became a stepping stone toward a revolution that transformed not only her life, but the lives of millions who find themselves in her music. Her story reminds us that greatness is often forged in the quiet moments of persistence, long before the world applauds. She has redefined what it means to be an artist in the modern era, blending personal narrative with universal emotion, innovation with authenticity. Taylor Swift's legacy is not measured solely by awards or record-breaking charts, but by the profound connection she maintains with her audience, the doors she has opened for future generations, and the courage she demonstrates in embracing her truth. Her life continues to evolve, each chapter a reflection of the same determination that once carried a young girl to Nashville's doorstep. As we reflect on her story, we are reminded that every setback holds the potential for transformation. From rejection to revolution, Taylor Swift embodies the journey of turning adversity into art and dreams into reality. Her life invites us to pursue our own aspirations with relentless passion, to embrace every challenge as part of our narrative, and to recognize that even the smallest voice can one day echo across the world. Taylor Swift's journey from a small-town girl with a notebook to a global icon is a testament to the power of resilience, vision, and unwavering dedication. Every challenge she faced, every door that closed, and every doubt cast upon her became a stepping stone toward a revolution that transformed not only her life, but the lives of millions who find themselves in her music. Her story reminds us that greatness is often forged in the quiet moments of persistence, long before the world applauds. She has redefined what it means to be an artist in the modern era, blending personal narrative with universal emotion, innovation with authenticity. Taylor Swift's legacy is not measured solely by awards or record-breaking charts, but by the profound connection she maintains with her audience, the doors she has opened for future generations, and the courage she demonstrates in embracing her truth. Her life continues to evolve, each chapter a reflection of the same determination that once carried a young girl to Nashville's doorstep. As we reflect on her story, we are reminded that every setback holds the potential for transformation. From rejection to revolution, Taylor Swift embodies the journey of turning adversity into art and dreams into reality. Her life invites us to pursue our own aspirations with relentless passion, to embrace every challenge as part of our narrative, and to recognize that even the smallest voice can one day echo across the world.